Today, I'm going to run through Savings and Pipeline Tracker. Okay, now we're going to jump over to the system and actually show you what the form entails, as well as show you some of the reports that you can obtain after you've created the savings form itself. So you can actually do this on a sourcing project or on a contract workspace. Preferably, I like doing it on the contract workspace because sometimes you negotiate savings outside of a sourcing event. And so I personally prefer to do it on the contract. You can do it on both documents if you choose to, but I like for consistency's sake just to do it on one document and you always store it so you know exactly where to go to find your savings form or your pipeline project. And so within your Documents tab, you go to Actions, and it is a new document. So you'll have a savings form document type. Once you create this, you'll enter a title for it. So we'll create this. It's going to pull a lot of information off of the header. So you'll notice that it already has the owner identified. It has my contract dates pulled off the contract, etc. It'll pull other things like departments and commodities. I had those blank for the time being. And again, I'm going to create a pipeline project for now. So again, the start date of this will actually be in the future, July. It's currently February. And so it's going to be future based. I'm going to put in, well, what's the ease of execution? Is it going to be a difficult project, an easy project? You can customize all this. So if you wanted it to be drop downs, etc., you can do that. Then I'm going to put in a estimated time to complete the project. So in this case, maybe this project, I'm expecting it to take 240 of my hours. And then you also have a sourcing resource time. And maybe that's only going to take 80 hours of a sourcing professional and 240 hours of an analyst to run the event, communicate with suppliers. Some organizations don't have sourcing analysts and sourcing managers, some do. So again, that's all part of the setup and configuration as you're running through this. Again, all this is configurable as part of your setup and configuration that you do. Out of the box, I find it pretty good. So spend type is, kind of your review of what you're comparing your baseline spend to. And so is it vendor opening offers, average of opening bids? Is it historic, right? If you have historic, is it net new capital project, right? So capital expenses in here. And then savings type, again, cost avoidance, cost reductions, rebates, signing bonuses. You can customize this list, but out of the box, it's actually not bad. Savings target, how much money I expect to save. Maybe I expect to save 10%. It will pull baseline spin off the contract or the sourcing event if you put that information in there as well. And so in this particular case, I'm going to put $1 million in. I'm going to estimate out $100,000 worth of savings. I don't have negotiated and actual savings yet. These fields are used so that you can have a estimated, hey, when I went into the project, I thought I was going to save 100,000. When we negotiated it, I saved 80,000. And then in actual implementation, maybe I only saved 50,000. A lot of customers actually remove the actual savings. They're not quite mature enough yet. And so they remove that actual savings because they don't have that level of tracking and reporting. Hopefully that's what you're going to get with your Ariba buying and invoicing tool, is to have that end-to-end workflow so that you can track transactions against your contract and track your actual savings. From there, we have detailed savings allocations. This can actually be done so that you can split this out over monthly allocations if your savings goes over multiple periods. If you do that, it's going to create allocations for every single month. So it'll actually create a start and end date every single month and create, 36 transactions for a 36-month contract. In this particular case, I could say, hey, I only want, two of them. And so it's just going to create two, and I could split this savings either into different savings types. So you can actually add the savings type down here, or you could say, hey, you know what? I'm actually going to save, $50,000 for the executive resources and $50,000 for solution optimization. And so then I would simply update my estimated savings down here to 50,000 and 50,000. And that is how the initial savings form. So again, this is actually creating a pipeline here where we're going to create the pipeline project. So we'll save this as a draft for now. And that's going to now create this pipeline project. So now I'm going to jump over to an executive or management dashboard that I've created that actually shows all of my pipelines for the different resources that I manage. And you'll notice that it has estimated number of hours, savings, baseline spend, the percentage of spend. I've got different charts up. I have actual versus estimated savings by owner. So again, once you complete those projects and you have actual savings, you can do a comparison of, hey, this person's always really good about, making a realistic target and hitting it. This other individual, well, their actuals always come in significantly less than they estimated. And so you can see I've got the same information in a table form over here. Apparently I've been fluffing my numbers. I'm way off. So really, really good information there. And then you can do the same exact thing where you have a savings dashboard for actual savings, and you can break that out by department. You can break that out, by cost center owner, department owner. You can break it out by category. You can break it out by obviously individual. So really good reporting for your savings as well as the pipeline or work product tracking. So really great tool. So for those that are interested in learning more about the setup and configuration of Savings and Pipeline Tracker, please reach out to your CE and request more information. There is a setup fee or configuration fee for those fields that we talked about earlier to actually set up the document, configure it to your specifications and things like that. Otherwise, thank you for taking the time today to watch the video.